Welcome back to the Advanced Selling Podcast, the longest running sales training podcast history. I am one of your two hosts, Bill Caskey.
I'm the other host, number two, Bryan Neal here.
We have been going at this for a long time. We're coming up on 20 years, well, next year, 20 years of doing this. So 19 years this year. And a lot of great, we get great comments, great compliments. We're about, I don't know, how many thousand LinkedIn 14,000 connections on LinkedIn in our group. So if you're not a member of the group, go there. Actually, I just did a video this morning where I asked people in the group, what do you want to talk about today? What do you want to hear about? Yeah. And got some really good feedback. So make sure you connect there. And also you can go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/insider if you'd like to learn what next month's deep dive training is. We do it once a month for a group of people. And if you want to get in on that, you can go to asp.com/insider.
Please. And connect with me and Bill directly.
Yeah.
You get to the point that you can only follow people. I accept connection. If you say you're an ASP person, and I do my own inbox, I respond. Had a listener the other day is like, hey, man, thanks a lot. Oh, my gosh. It's like, just me, man. There's nothing fancy here.
Just don't send the generic LinkedIn.
No, just say you're an ASP person.
Just say ASP and how it's changed your life and how you gather your family around and listen to it.
So Bill, it's the springtime, big time in Indianapolis, Indiana, where we record. We have the Indianapolis 500, big deal month of May. We have the Pacers are in the NBA Finals, super fun. But there's another spring tradition that just happened, and that is the Scripps National Spelling Bee just completed. And we had a last year runner-up, kind of comeback kid of the year, and won the thing and knew his word. And the guy who reads the words is one of my favorite humans to listen to. I could listen to him. I think he's a professor or somewhere over in Washington, D.C. or something. But the way he says chrysanthemum, could you use it in a sentence? The chrysanthemum was blooming during the field trip. Stuff like that. He's got that real word of origin. Exactly. But has the spelling bee run its course? What are we doing? We're spelling words that we don't need to spell anymore because ChatGPT corrects everything. And they're words that we've never heard, never used, and don't know the meaning to. What is the point of the spelling bee is my rant. Does it still, what's the point? Could we take that knowledge and the energy of those kids have in their brains and use it for something more meaningful than spelling words that we don't know how to say, don't know what they mean, and we'll never use again?
We'll never use them, or we'll never spell them.
Correct. We'll definitely never spell them.
Chrysanthemum. I mean, it's a show. It's a performance art to me. And it says a lot about the students who are there. And are they what is their age? Sixth graders?
I think it's 5th through 7th, I think, or 8th, maybe 5th through 8th, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's remarkable. The studying, there's got to be a ton of studying that goes in. I'm impressed with just.
It is.
Yeah.
Nothing about the kids, for sure. Now, I do think it's funny. Sorry, rant 2, then I'm going to turn over for you to the topic. Nowadays, they spell the word. If they're wrong, they hear a ding, ding, and the kids get upset. Like you said, they study real hard. I feel bad for the kids. But now what they do, they have a woman that immediately starts to praise the kid verbally. When they get out, there's a woman sitting at another desk, not reading the clues, and the person loses ding, and they'll say, Bill, you did such a good job this year. You're still young, only in 5th grade, and we appreciate how hard you've worked, and I'm sure you're going to do great if you come back next year. And they ding him out. Versus saying, like he's out and sits down. Gone. I don't know if they do it all of them, but that kind of caught me too. I'm like, that's kind of nice. Like, we got to make this.
Once Bryan gets off the stage, we can spread out a little bit more.
I just pictured the same thing at the end of an NFL game. There's a woman sitting there, like when the players are coming off, they just got their ass kicked. They're like, you guys worked really hard out there. They were a good team. That was really tough. You can come back next year. Anyway, sorry, my rant's over. Topic.
That's good. I don't know if I can pivot and make a connection here, but in our businesses, Bryan, we focus a lot on the mentality of the sales professional, the mental side, the mindset, and all things inside us. And we know that almost all success is downstream from that. And if our thinking is correct, then our actions are more likely to be correct, and our results will be too. And I was listening to, heard a couple of podcasts this week where the topic was on self-doubt. and confidence and self-doubt, and how the inverse, obviously the inverse of confidence is self-doubt. I'm not sure of myself. And I wondered at that time if that was something that was a common thing. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, self-doubt in our world of sales and business development and business doesn't mean if you have a lot of self-doubt, you're sitting on a mountain somewhere refusing to go to work, or you're holed up in your closet every day eating donuts. Self-doubt could be very conditional. It could be very like, I love it when I'm in front of customers, but my self-doubt enters when I shoot a video or when I have to talk about money. We talked about this in our last episode with the Purdue professor. So I'm wondering if it would be a good topic to talk about in terms of just this specific self-doubt that we have in certain areas that does hold us back, and just be open about it. Like I've got some, I'm sure you do too, and thought it would be a good topic.
No doubt. Commonly referenced from research, I think in the 80s, as imposter syndrome is a little thing. It's another way to say that. And it's funny. I interviewed a panel of some pretty accomplished people. Angelo Pizzo, who wrote the movie Hoosiers, was on the panel. And David Meltzer, who's a really good coach, who was my business coach, used to run a sports agency, a really big one. And then Marshall Faulk, who was a Hall of Fame running back and played for the Colts and the Rams. And I asked them about this self-doubt. And it was amazing to hear Angelo talk about, he wrote Hoosiers and it was Oscar nominated and everything. Then he had to write his next movie and he was terrified. He wrote this beautiful thing. And then I asked David the same thing, and he gave all these things. I asked Marshall Faulk, I go, what about imposter syndrome for you, Marshall? He goes, I never feel that. I was like, okie dokie. So I think there are more people that do than don't.
Yeah.
More people that do than don't. Lots of people have a thing. First thing coming to mind for me is instead of the cycle of, oh, I have doubt about that, therefore I am this, or I don't like how I look. I don't look how I look in the video, so I'm not going to shoot a video. Then I don't shoot a video. I'm like, why am I scared to shoot a video? I'm no good because I'm scared to shoot a video.
Yeah.
And it spirals down, and it gets worse. Like, what am I doing? I'm going to sit here and then no one's ever going to see my videos, or why don't, and it's really bad. Versus stopping that when it starts and being able to say, video's not my jam. It just isn't. And so I don't do videos, and then let it be and let it stop there. As a versus beating ourselves up over the fact that we have this discomfort around this thing, as an example.
Yeah, I think definitely the beating myself up about not being good at the thing that I'm supposed to be doing is a problem. That the beating will continue until the morale improves.
Right.
That sign.
Till it doesn't. Yeah, totally.
But and I also think though that if I have he was talking to Ed Milet, who I respect a lot, like sometimes his podcasts go on a little too long, but he was talking about the self-doubt comes up when you don't believe in yourself. Oh, Bryan, you could do that because that's you, but me, I don't believe in myself enough to shoot a video, just using that example. And he said the problem a lot of times is that we have lied to ourselves for so many years and in so many ways. We've made commitments to ourselves to lose weight, to stop eating, burgers or processed foods, or to work out at the gym, or to make 25 calls a day. We've made so many commitments that we've reneged on that we don't even have confidence in ourselves to even say, I can do this. So I don't know video, but shit, I can learn how to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned a lot more difficult things than that. But if you don't have that commitment to self, and you've let yourself down so many times, and I thought, God, that's a good way to look at where does the doubt come from? Has nothing to do with the camera and you. It has more to do with the mindset around.
Yes. And I love that you said, because I believe this to be true, most of it is fictitious, unendorsed, not real thought that isn't real. It's not real. they take those personality profile things, like Enneagram is one of those. And my wife and I were on a drive, so we're reading each other's Enneagrams. And one of mine said, you seem to others as like really confident, have your stuff together. And what people don't see is behind that, you don't feel confident. And I was like, that's 1,000% right. And my wife was like, really? I'm like, 1,000%.
But you look, oh, that's right.
She's like, I can't. And I said, it's really weird. And what I've worked on through a lot of therapy is just being able to accept that. So if I go give a talk and people come up and say, oh, great job, Bill. Great job, Bryan. God, it's so good. I have to fight the urge to fight that off, to go, no. My way to do it, I'm like, dude, it's just me. I just did it. When I said DM me earlier on the LinkedIn, when we opened the show, I said, I do my own LinkedIn. It's just me. That's me doing that. Like, I'm no big deal. That's me doing that. That's exactly that's what I do, versus someone,
Yeah, that seems like a healthy humility, a grounding that,
I don't know,
that I'm not sure that's at odds though with, I know what you're saying. I'm not, you shouldn't feel that way.
Exactly right.
A good therapist move. You shouldn't feel that way.
I just know it to be true. Yeah. I know it in myself to be true. And I know that my perception is different than others' perception. And I have to let that be. That's right. Versus fight it.
I agree. And that's one thing you said that I like, that idea of embrace it. I'm not good at video. Well, embrace it. Embrace it doesn't mean run from it. Embrace it means, well, I'm not very good at video. I guess I need to figure it out, or I guess I never need to figure it out. But only through embracing it can we become clear-headed about it and say, like we've been running Facebook ads to know terrible. We've just been terrible at it.
Yeah.
And we just get focused. We keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And finally, we had an ad hit.
Yeah.
and had we not had that, or had we not had the perseverance and resilience to just keep going back, keep spending some money, that ad would never have come to fruition. And so it's easy to say, oh, I don't do Facebook ads because, nobody's on Facebook, really. Or we say, you know what? We at Facebook ads, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's embrace that discomfort, embrace the mediocrity so that you can get better.
Yes.
And that's a terrible example to Facebook, but it's all part of this. Are you going to give up, or are you going to burrow through it?
That's right. Yeah. And it could be that the Facebook thing is less about giving up, just making a choice to not do it anymore. That, you know what I mean? I just don't do that anymore. I tried that and it didn't work. And there's another part of this, which is, did I enjoy whatever the thing was?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's another part of it too. I think it's like, I'm pretty good at this thing, but I hate doing it. Like I hate doing personal video. I'm just making this up, but if I hate doing personal videos, why would I keep trying to do them? Because I know it's not fun, even if I'm good at them. I love I love that context of embracing it, almost doing the opposite. So an example would be like, I suck at videos. So your video series becomes videos from a guy who sucks at doing videos. Right. And it would be phenomenal. It would be, here's another video from a guy who hates doing videos.
And he starts off every one. God, I hate this.
Yep. Hi, I'm Bryan, and I hate doing videos. So this is my 1900th, 21st episode of I hate doing videos. I'm doing a video.
You're probably thinking I'm starting to like it.
I'm not. I still hate it. Right. And I still pretty much suck at it. But thanks for watching my videos. That thing would blow up.
Absolutely.
It would blow up.
Absolutely. But that's a matter of embracing it and doing something with that.
Yes.
The suckiness or whatever.
Yes.
Rich Roll, I heard him the other day on a podcast, and do you know Rich Roll?
No.
Oh, he's a health and fitness ultimate marathon guy. Has a 12 years podcast. He got a really good following.
Yeah.
But he was talking about embracing that and then going and doing something with it, like you just said.
Oh, interesting.
Leveraging the mediocrity and saying, I'm not good at this, so I'm going to be not good at this for the world.
Yes.
Until you get good at it. And then you don't ever have to say, okay, now I'm good at it. You can leverage that. And I don't think we think about that at all.
I just saw a TikTok guy that said he's going to do, he's giving himself, and it was a short time window, maybe 3 months. He never, ever played golf one time. He said, this is my video series. Someone who's never played golf one time to 90 days become a scratch handicap golfer.
Wow.
And he's just going to do it and try it. I mean, it's so interesting to think about that. Like say, because I'm like, that's me with golf. Like I don't enjoy it. I'm not very good at it. So I don't play.
Did you ever find your clubs the time after?
No. That's a callback. Oh my gosh. Bill and I played, neither of us really play golf. Time the two we played together, and I lost some really nice clubs after one of the events. I don't know where they were. Still don't. They were really nice clubs.
At the bottom of a lake somewhere.
I was all gear, no game. All gear, no game.
That was a day I think I realized that 13 holes is about right.
Yeah, I'm seven. I'm like, oh,
well, you're not even making
going.
First 9. Yeah.
So I think that's a good reframing of letting these things be, and then can I turn them into something?
Yeah,
and own them up front, and then the thing that's the negative becomes actually the thing that's the most positive about it.
That's right.
Of the self-doubt. I just saw it. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and when you think about all the rehab and self addiction programs, step one is always admit to ourselves that we have a problem.
Yep.
And I think that's okay here too, is to admit to yourself. You don't have to tell the world, but I got some doubt around this this thing here. And if maybe you have 5 or 6 areas, it's like, who cares? We all have doubt. And by admitting it to yourself, now you're on the road. We're on the road to correcting it, fixing it, navigating around it.
Yes. And there's no book. There's no book. Everyone thinks there's some book. I can guarantee at some point, Jeff Bezos is walking around with his girlfriend or fiance now. And he's like, I had no idea what I was doing. None. I just did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a thing. I just saw a cool little article on British Airways is selling tickets. And they said they've sold like tens of millions of dollars of tickets for people to take a 40-minute flight around England. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, who would just take a flight? It'd be like if you took off in Indianapolis and flew around for a half hour and landed in Indianapolis. It's for people who are afraid of flying. And they're selling these things out, and they put them through a course. They go into some training. They go through 2 or 3 days of classroom. They meet the pilots. They go walk around the airplane. They understand flying. And then it culminates at the end with them taking their first flight because they're afraid of it. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
What a great idea for British Airways. Great idea. And a great thing for people to move through their fear, this thing that they're, and I bet you, I don't know for sure, I don't have that fear of flying. There's shame in the fear of flying. When people say, where are you going? Well, we're going up to, we're going from Indianapolis, down to Key West. Like, oh, what time's your flight? We're not flying. I'm afraid to fly. And people do. You're afraid to fly? You're going to drive to Key West? You know how easy it is to fly there? Seriously? There's more odds of you getting killed in a car wreck than getting killed in a plane crash. That makes the person feel great when they just said they're afraid of flying.
Yeah, we think it's intellectual.
Totally.
You understand.
Oh, you're just dumb. You're just stupid. Yeah, totally. Makes no sense. It's funny, isn't it? It's what we do, though. And then they're shaming it. And then they're not going to tell anyone. And they're not going to fly anywhere. And they're going to sit there and wallow. And as I get, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's just a bad thing for me.
Yeah.
So
they're going to drive to Shelbyville. And have
they're going to drive.
Okay. So let's come up with a thing to do. My thing would be just to identify those areas in your, let's just say your business life where there's a little self-doubt. I'm just not comfortable. I'm not confident in these areas. You don't have to talk about it in terms of self-doubt. Just talk about it in terms of lack of confidence, or you're not quite as confident as you'd like to be in a certain area, and just dissect it a little bit. Just stay with it, meditate on it, ruminate on it. Don't obsess with it.
Yeah.
But admit it. I think that's step one.
I love it. And I'll go then, not to step 2 recovery wise, but step 2, from that, then I would decide if I want to turn that into an actionable thing just to put myself out there with it. So if I'm afraid of flying, I'm going to sign up for a flight lesson. If I'm afraid of this, or I've self-doubt in writing, I'm going to start writing. And just start writing with no worry about if it's good or bad. I'm just going to start doing the activity versus the judgment of the activity. That's what I'm trying to get to. Just do the activity, not the judgment of the activity.
Yeah. And I think you're right about do I enjoy it? I mean,
yes.
At some point, I think we can learn to enjoy a lot that we think we won't. Like writing is a good example. I used to hate writing, used to hate English class, comp class. I like it now.
Yes.
Well, That's because I've done it enough that I've gotten to the point where I feel inspiration from my own writing, not what I write, but the act of writing. And so I think we can learn to like some of that stuff that maybe now we just don't. And
Yes.
if we learn to like something that by doing it helps us grow our business, that's a good thing.
My wife told me that when we were a long time ago, she said she used her name in third person. She said, Stephanie Summers does not run. We're talking about running. Never. She ran a mile for cheerleading in high school, mandatory, and hated every minute of it.
Yeah.
I think she's run 4 or 5 half marathons now.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Does she still talk about herself in third person?
She constantly
does run.
Well, Stephanie is going to go have her walk now. Stephanie is going to go have her coffee. That's a call.
Run. No, that means you're not invited.
My run, I'm not for sure.
All right.
All right.
Good job,
Good topic,
today.
man.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.